Hi guys, welcome to Monday Night Mashup. I am here today with Dan Bates.
Hey,
Hey, I've pointed
how
the
you
right way.
doing?
I do that every time, Dan. Like, I put my hand up to go, oh, I'm with Tom Higginbottom, and I point at the wrong corner.
Hey,
It's the
never get
opposite side on the camera.
it.
But yeah, hi guys. Today's episode is all about Crit Hit, the GT that just happened this past weekend. Unfortunately, I couldn't attend, but Dan Bates, who we all entrusted to go on behalf of Glasshammer and represent and bring back a podium trophy. Dan, how did that go for you, mate? What was your record?
It was nice and even. I like things nice and symmetrical. So a nice 2 wins and 2 losses, right down the middle.
And yeah, guys, obviously with Dan being such a well, he took Necrons as well. That's his army. So with him being such a seasoned veteran with Necrons, you'd expect him to have smashed 2 games and then lost games 3 and 4.
Uh,
Dan, how did your first game go, mate?
There was so basically we kind of come up with this list, didn't we? And it's actually on the battle report that went live this weekend with the Necrons. It was a really cool idea, and I really liked it. So that's the reason why I took that instead of the usual things that we take. Because I just wanted to see how it did and if I could play with it and really kind of maybe go for best Necron, maybe that kind of thing. So I thought I'd take it, see how it fared, and it had such a big flaw in it that I didn't expect. It just can't handle vehicle spam. As soon as your opponent has a lot of vehicles, basically everything in it is strength 5 and 6. Your wraiths are strength 5, your destroyers are strength 6. So if it's a vehicle, you're wounded on 5s, and there's just no way with all the rerolls in the world you just can't get through vehicles quick enough. Especially with so the list that I took.
We got to talk about the list. We got to talk about the list.
Yeah, in case you haven't seen the battle report that went live, it was a Cryptek, a Lord, and an Overlord. It was 3 units of 5 race, 3 units of 5 destroyers, 2 units of 9 scarabs, and a unit of 3 scarabs. And it worked out really well in that normally I put 2 units of destroyers in the scar. Oh, they're all Nephrex. They can auto advance 6 inches. So the 2 units of scarabs and the wraiths ran forward, like boom, 18 inches. Then 1 advances and charges with the strat. A unit of destroyers, Veil of Darkness is over. Uses the CP, deletes something. And then the destroyers kind of come in waves in turns 1, 2, and 3. Thin your opponent out while the wraiths and the scarabs just wrap. Scarabs just go after something, wrap it, and sit there because I was normally taking recon. So they would wrap something, not kill it, but not get shot either. And then the race would go over, wrap, then kill, then fall back, then wrap, then kill. So that kind of thing. And it was really fun to play. Insanely fun to play. I had such a good laugh in all my games, even when I was getting smashed. But what surprised me probably the most was I didn't think people could kill 15 wraiths that quick. Honestly, I thought that's 5 to get through, 3 up in run. But I don't want to blame dice, but I never had that game where I was like, oh, I'm sorry, mate, I've just made loads of 3-ups. That never really happened at any point. And so, yeah, they just kind of got whittled down. And then, my first game, oh, man, it just hit me like a brick. I played, had 7 Wave Serpents and 3 Fire Prisms, which is an insanely good list for ITC, by the way. So, yeah, he had that. We've kind of toyed with this list, haven't we? The Wave Serpent spam.
Yeah, because we always came to the sort of conclusion that there's no damage output on there. But
exactly.
Again, because I was thinking about it, and I was like, 3 Fire Prisms and 7 Wave Serpents. It's like, that can't be it. You've got to have a bit more in the list than that. But it's because of the weapon options that he's taken, hasn't it? To make sure that the Wave Serpents can actually do some damage.
Yeah. So what he put dual star cannons on all of them, and then he put the crystal targeting matrix. So as long as you target the closest enemy unit to you, then you ignore all your modifiers, which I thought was a really cool trick. That's something I hadn't considered before. And it
are they
really
assault, bro? Or are they heavy?
no, they're heavy because he was.
Oh, so he can move around and still.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the way I deployed on that, I think he got first turn, so I rolled hammer and anvil, and so I put all my wraiths on the line, but like half an inch back, and then I put my scarabs all the way across in front of them. So the scarabs are always going to be the closest rather than the wraiths. And because I thought he'd go for the wraiths, to be fair. And he didn't. He just thought, well, the scarabs are the closest, so that's what I'm going to nuke. And in the first turn, because I just didn't think he'd have that much firepower. I honestly didn't. In the first turn, he come forward and he killed all of my scarabs and 3 wraiths. So I was a bit, oh, okay then. That's a bit weird. But he kind of...
like 23 bases of scarabs?
Yeah. Oh, just... Well, so he's got 4 shots of the star cannons.
Yeah, D3 damage each.
And then it just goes straight through their armor.
Oh, yeah, they're wounded on 2s as well, don't they? Wounding scarabs,
yeah.
2 straight through the armor, just flat 3 D3 damage. Wow. Yeah. That's really good.
And then, oh man, he was rolling 3 damages like you wouldn't believe. In the first turn, the reason why he killed 3 wraiths, he just killed all the scarabs and he had 1 wave serpent left. So he goes 3 hits, 3 wounds. I fail 3 3-ups, and then he goes 3 3 3, and his damage. Hello. Oh my god.
Love you, Dan. Obviously want you to win, but when someone does something like that, how can you not cheer for them?
Yeah. The fact that he wasn't wearing a "What would Manny do" T-shirt was a bit insulting. Yeah. But yeah, I was like, okay then. So I moved forward. I killed a couple of Dire Avenger units, put some damage on a Wave Serpent, and then wrapped whatever units were left with my 2 Wraith units, and then I got a Scarab unit in as well to get score more. I swung them round and got his far objective by assaulting and consolidating and piling in. So I was quite happy with that. But then obviously he then come out with his Farseer, did a super smite obviously, which killed like a Wraith and a bit, and then Executioner that killed another couple of Wraiths. Yeah. And then he just sat there with all of his Wave Serpents, and what he did started firing off his Serpent Shields, and to show that his Serpent had fired his Serpent Shield, he took it off its base. So his whole army just went sat down, and my Wraiths just disappeared. All of them, all 12 that were left just died instantly to all these Serpent Shields and smites going off. And then his Fire Prisms just nuked a unit of destroyers. And there's the few star cannons as well. Yeah. Didn't need. So turn 2, I'd lost all my Wraiths, all my Scarabs, and a unit of destroyers. Wow. And my destroyers don't really touch his Wave Serpents back because they do the -1. They were Alatox, so -2 to hit. But obviously, I made sure I within 12 of his Serpent. But even then, I'm still wounded on 5s. He's got a 6-up save, I think, and then all the damage I won. So I roll a 5 or a 6. Yeah, so I think I did 6 wounds to a Serpent.
Yeah. D3 damage is just not great against Wave Serpents, is it?
No. And it was at that point I was like, okay then. I genuinely don't think there's much I can do here. But yeah, and then that was it. Then I was sat in a corner doing nothing. But I just didn't expect to lose Wraiths like that. I honestly didn't.
Yeah. So, guys, I mean, check out the battle report if you want to see the list in action. It's just gone up. Did it go up today? Did it go up yesterday? It went up yesterday, didn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, the battle report went up yesterday, guys. Check it out. And you'll see me pilot the Necron list, so you'll see how it should be played. You'll see how you're supposed to roll saves with Wraiths.
Yeah, you'll see Manny roll a hell of a lot of 3-up.
Yeah, you'll see how Wraith saves are supposed to be rolled. How get up rolls on destroyers are supposed to be rolled.
I'm desperate. I got one of my games, because Ash and Liam were sitting there just laughing at the rolls. It was the first one. They were laughing their asses off as my opponent went, okay, so D3 damage, 3 damage, 3 damage, 3 damage. Ash counted. He did 7 damages in a row. Ash actually counted, right, while he was shooting my destroyers, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is mad."
But
And
how did you let through? How did you let 7 through?
It was. I think why, because it's like a 4-up save, and I make none of them. I can't even 3-ups, let alone 4-ups. And yeah, Ash was yeah, they were lying. They were laughing their asses off. So then I started, like, when he started shooting stuff and I had 3-up saves, I started rolling them one at a time. And there's a big thing that me and Ash have got where I'm like, it doesn't make any difference if you roll them one at a time, and he's truly
Oh,
convinced that it does.
it does, mate. It does. I've told you this loads of times. It does.
And I'm like, it doesn't make a difference. I don't care what you say. I actually got to the point where I started rolling my dice one at a time.
I told you, it makes a difference, man.
Just passing something. It was ridiculous.
Oh, wow, wow. Didn't you say towards the end of the game when you had that 1 unit destroyers that you actually started making saves?
Yeah, yeah. As soon as I got down to 1 unit of destroyers and a cryptech, because everything else was dead, he had 3 wave serpents surrounding them, and a fire. He'd like turbo boost a fire prism up as well, and he fired at them for, I think it was like 2 or 3 turns, and he didn't kill the unit. He didn't table me because he started on his damage there. I started making a few saves.
So is this at the point where you started rolling dice one at a time?
Pretty much, yeah.
So, does it make a difference then, Dan?
No, it doesn't make a difference. So then he starts rolling like 1s on his damage. You know, there's a 3 every now and then, but he started rolling a bit average with his D3 wounds and stuff, and then he couldn't kill that 1 unit of destroyers because they just kept reanimating back.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is how this game should have gone. I said, you probably still win, but at least
an insane amount of 3 damages.
Yeah, at least I can get a few more points if it goes the other way. Do you know what I mean? It was mad.
Yeah. Okay, it was fair enough.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. Like I said, to be fair, I didn't realise just how much of a weakness a vehicle heavy list was to that list.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it either because, well, not to ruin it, but the bat rep game. So playing against these guys was 3 super heavy guard tanks, which are toughness 8, with 26 wounds each, with +1 save on one of them, -1 to hit on another one, and just watch that report and see what happens there.
No, he didn't. He never had the -1, did he? I don't think. But that's the thing, is like the big difference is the wave serpents were like -2 to hit.
Yeah.
So they were -2 to hit, and they were reducing damage and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
Then so the other list I played that I really struggled against was the Tyrannus Knight list. Ooh. So I lost my first one, and I went on and won my next 2, and then in the morning I had another game, and it was Tyrannus Knights.
Yeah, they're horrible, aren't they? Tyrannus Knights now are the build for Knights, man.
There could have been Mortis Knights. Made no difference. He never even had to. So
Mortis Knights. I don't even think there's a house called Mortis, but they could have been.
There's a Morty Knight.
Morty. It was Mortarian now, guys. It's a Morty. Dan just doesn't care.
It could have been free. What I'm saying is they could have been free blades. It doesn't matter because I never even killed one.
Oh, I love it.
I come down with my destroyers and used extermination on them, and did 2 wounds. I did 2 wounds to the Imperial Knight with extermination protocols, and I was like, okay, that was a bit unlucky. But what concerned me is I was watching his dice, and he didn't seem to be rolling that well. He just kind of
and he was just getting through you.
Yeah, so I was like, okay then. Okay. And as I come down on my second turn, did it again, and did 2 wounds to him again to another night. Oh, wow. And I was like, maybe this isn't that far off average. Maybe I've really put a lot of pressure on my destroyers, and they just can't do this. And it's because they have the 4-up invuln.
That's. I mean, 15 destroyers gets like 10 hits, even with full rerolls, 13 hits. We're running on 5, so it's about 4 wounds. Reroll the failed 9, that's another 3. 7 wounds.
Right, right, yeah, that's pretty much what I was getting. I'm not saying I was rolling unlucky or
That's
anything.
what I mean. Like 3
Then
come through.
but then
roughly?
he was saving like 4, maybe
And then you're rolling
5.
like double 1 on your 2 damage.
So, but then no, because then I roll like 4 damage on my 2 dice that go
Then he's got
through,
a 6 of inner pain.
and then he's got a 6 of feel no pain.
Wow, yeah, that's it. It's not ridiculous.
So it's not. I was looking at him and I was like, I was sitting there going, he didn't seem to roll that lucky there, so maybe this is average. Maybe I'm screwed here. And then I took the second turn and it did exactly the same, and I was like, yes, I'm screwed here, yeah, because he was just deleting. So what I'd managed to do is he had some Helverins as well, the shooty little knights, and some Skitari shooting things and everything. Yeah. But what I'd done, I'd just kind of moved my scarabs up through the terrain, and I managed to lock everything up with scarabs. I just wrapped everything. There was just a big web of scarabs everywhere. And so he just had his 2 Imperial Knights. He had his 2 Tyrannus Crusaders. And I even managed to lock one of them up with, I think I had 4 Wraiths left at the end of turn 2, and I managed to lock one up so he couldn't shoot. But then I can't kill them. What difference does it make? He just kicks them to death in the next turn and then deletes a unit of destroyers. So
that's it. What can you do? It's just, I think it's an uphill battle. That one is an uphill battle against Knights, definitely, for sure. Oh, Ash says it's Morton, you pleb.
No, close.
You absolute noob.
There's
another. Why are you commenting on the video?
Me?
Yeah, is there a certain reason why you're commenting on the video?
I'm not commenting on the video, mate. I'm not even on
Facebook. Right here. It says Tom Higginbottom.
I
I don't remember going to this event or giving this interview.
I tell you what,
guys, anybody that doesn't know, Tom Higginbottom and Dan Bates look exactly the same.
No, it's a lie, right? We don't. But I tell you what was really bloody frustrating is so we were out in Higginbottom's and Ash's neck of the woods on the Saturday night because we all went out and got bladdered, and obviously all these people come up that know Ash, and they were going, "Oh, Ash, you alright, mate?" And then they turn to me and go, "Oh, Higgy, how are you, man? It's been ages. I haven't seen you." I was like, "Yeah, really funny, whatever." And then they look at me all weird, and Ash turns around and goes, "No, that's not Higginbottom. It's Higgy. You've got the wrong guy." So yeah, people genuinely think that I'm him for some unknown.
Question from Jason for you now, Dan. Jason Roberts, our local Necron elite enthusiast, says, "Gonna give 1 destroyers yet then?"
Oh, I knew
he keeps saying to you that Doomsdays are really good, doesn't he? And you're just not convinced that Doomsdays are good.
Now, honestly, I think destroyers are better than Doomsday Arcs. But you can't run a list full of destroyers, basically. Definitely not. But Doomsday Arcs are a trap. I'm not being convinced any other way. I've played Doomsday Arcs. I'm not saying,
this is the thing, right? I totally agree with you, bro. Because I think to make the destroyer list work, you need like 12 to 15 of them. But if you get like 15 of them, it comes to like 750 odd points, doesn't it? So I'm guessing why people are thinking the Doomsdays are better because they come to like less than 500 for all 3, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why people are taking them, whereas the destroyers are like a half your army type investment, aren't they?
Yeah. And I mean, don't get me wrong, the destroyers were cool. I mean, I played Dark Angels after that. I played a really cool Dark Angels list, and it had oh mate, I tell you what did happen. He had the Inceptors. He had Plasma Inceptors, Dark Angels, right? And he had a unit of 6 of them in the sky, and I was really nervous that they were coming down the whole time.
Those Plasma ones.
Yeah. So I was like, wow. Okay, I'm really nervous about them. They're going to come down and they're going to just delete a unit of destroyers. Fair enough. So I'd managed to push forward. I was wrapping stuff with the Wraith so he couldn't shoot them, and it was all going really well. And then I'd managed to with Scarabs on turn 2 so he couldn't come down. But then he just focused all his shooting on a unit so I could bubble properly. And he landed these guys down, right? And I thought, as long as I've got 2 destroyers, he's going to come down, nuke a squad, and then my destroyers can hit him back, so it's fine.
He split.
So
Didn't he
comes down.
He split, didn't he?
He comes down and goes, weapons of the Dark Ages, 3 on them, 3 on them, both destroy units down to the wound. And I was like, and the destroyers were on cover and everything. I made sure they were there, and I like killed them both to the wound. And I was like,
wow.
oh wow, you've just killed 10 destroyers with a 180-point squad.
Wow, no way.
It was ridiculous.
Wow, that's insane. Serves you right, Dan, anyway. But anyway.
I know, man. But I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, man, that's a really good unit.
That's crazy. I mean, there's barely anything in the game that does that, really.
The thing is, as well,
destroyers.
I'd managed to come down with the destroyers. The reason why I brought them down a turn early is I'd figured out a way where I could get in and kill Sammy. And I should have killed the Talonmaster as well, but the race buggered up their rolls. So I come down. That's why I had the 2 on the board. I'd killed Sammy, and the Talonmaster I got down to like 2 wounds or something like that.
Yeah.
So he didn't even have rerolls to hit. He came down and just did that normally. It was mad. Like, that's a really good.
Wow, yeah, that's really lucky. Ash says Doomsdays are super swingy. If you go second against the Knights, the Gatlings will even wreck you, which is true.
Yep.
Or you just roll low shots, and then the Invulnerables and the Knights them.
That's exactly it. That's what I thought. D6 shots. Like, if I say to you, if I didn't tell you what faction it came from, and I said it does D6 shots, and then it does D6 damage, and I'd say, what faction is that from? You go, oh, that's an Orc weapon.
Yeah, Orcs. Literally what came to mind, Orcs.
Not Necrons that are like, all reliable and super advanced in technology and everything. It needs to lose the D6 number of shots. It needs to be like 2D3 or 3D3 or something. I don't know.
Yeah, 2D3 is a lot more reliable, isn't it, than D6?
Yeah.
I prefer it. Definitely prefer it. Because you know what? Like the average on 2D3 is 4. You know what I mean? That is your average number of shots.
Yeah.
On a D6, there is no average. People think there's an average on one dice. There is no average on one dice because you're averagely you've got an even chance of rolling any number on that dice.
Yeah.
So there's no average on one dice. But
I played with them for a while, and exactly what I was afraid of happened. I think I won like my first 3 games, and I was like, oh yeah, this is really cool. And then I come up against some, whatever army it was. And it come to my first shooting phase, and I went 1 shot, 2 shots, like 2 hits out the lot of them, and then they did nothing.
Yeah.
And so you can work so hard and fight your way up to the top tables, and then they just give up on you, and then you're like, oh, okay, then that's my anti-tank sitting there doing nothing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So it's just it's too random.
Ash just said here.
Like,
he goes, Weapons of the Dark Age for the 3 damage is really nice. Here you go. Yeah, see, it's exactly the same as the triple Melter Crusaders. It goes, if you get 15 shots between them, it's great. But if you get 6 shots between 3 of them...
Exactly.
Yeah, you just wasted a turn, basically.
Yeah.
It cost him his 3rd game. So, yeah, guys, Ash was there as well on the weekend. So it's cost him his 3rd game. Got, like, 7 shots from 3 melters. And against Caladius. Caladius just hit him back hard.
Yeah. So we knew he had this matchup in the morning, and I was like, oh mate, it's a bit swingy for you. I was like, first turn's huge, go first, you'll probably be all right. But he's still -1 to hit, and he's still got a 5-up invuln. And I was like, you've got D6 shots, so anything could happen. And I was looking over in the morning, and I saw him moving his knights first, and I was like, yes, he's got first turn, he's going to move them over. And then he come over like 20 minutes later, looking all sad with his shoulders down. So, and yeah, it just bounced off the whole lot of it. So
sucks. So Dan, tell us, what were the top 3 lists? Who came first, second, and third at the event?
So Beth came first with really cool Admech. Pure
Admech, was it?
Yes, pure Admech.
Nice.
She even dropped the assassin in it now. She was saying because of the game that we had, because I played her at Cali.
Yeah.
and I have won by 1 point with my repulsors. But it was because I just went for the plasma guys straight away and just plinked them all off.
Yes.
So she's dropped one of the infiltrator squads and the assassin and a dragoon,
Destroyers.
and that's got her an extra got an extra 6 destroyers.
Oh wow.
And more robots as well, more Castellan robots.
Wow.
And it was. She was saying it did something really important to her list. That had just allowed her to really maximise exactly what it wanted to do. And then just kicking ass with it. It's just such a really cool gun line and so resilient. One thing I didn't realise as well. Do you know the bouncing back 6's mortal wounds that the Castellan robots?
Yep.
If you give them +1 save, I think she was saying it bounces back on 5s and 6s.
Ah.
Saves of 5s and 6s, because apparently it just pluses 1 to the dice roll, so 5s become 6s.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. I was like, wow,
okay, yeah.
that's incredible.
That's
because
massive.
bouncing back a third of your wounds as mortal wounds is huge.
Yeah.
I never realised that. I thought that was really cool.
Oh my god, you know what's just happened, Dan?
What's that?
Off topic. I've just I've just gone to open my iPad to get the codexes out, and they've all just disappeared in front of my eyes. There's only 2 on there, but luckily one of them is add mech. Let me have a look, because that's really interesting.
Yeah, I was like, wow, are you sure about that? And she was like, yeah, it's just +1 to saves. I was like, man, that's incredible. But yeah, and
let me just hit you with this then. All models in this unit have a 5+ invulnerable save against shooting attacks. In addition, each time you roll a 6, and then in brackets, after re-rolls, but before modifiers. Not be modified. Each time you roll a 6 for a repulsor's greater vulnerable save, the unit that made the attack suffers a mortal wound. But it says before modifiers, so you cannot modify this roll. Oh yeah, Ash has just said it as well. It doesn't at all. That's completely wrong. The codex has removed that. It must have been an index thing then.
Yeah, it might have been different before then.
It's
Maybe
now
that's what
been
it was.
removed. Something that someone needs to tell Beth.
Yeah, I'll have to drop her a message then. I was like, wow, that's insane. I thought that was really good. But yeah, she was playing anything that kind of come up to the top table, just batting it away like it was nothing, just kind of standing there and shooting off the table. So
that's good to hear. Admech. It's good to hear that Admech are up top. I really like that.
Yeah, and it's really cool because you're not taking call either, which is kind of the standard way that people usually run them. She's got like a mix of all different detachments. Yeah. There's Riser and there is a few Mars bits in there. She uses the Fury of Mars on the robots. She puts them on the little Uzi guys.
Oh yeah.
I did not see that come in when I played it. Because I was kind of moving forward. I killed the plasma guy, so I was thinking, oh, my 2 repulsors that I've got are now safe. So then these infiltrators turn up with these little Uzis, and she puts Fury of Mars on them. Just deletes a repulsor with a little Uzi unit.
Rolls loads of 6s.
I was like, wow, Jesus. I don't think statistically it should kill one, but 6 in it. Rolled a couple more. Probably does like 12 wounds on average, so you haven't got to roll that much over.
I don't know, mate. I don't know. Averagely, it's 50-50, isn't it? You either kill the repulsor.
Is that
what it is? But no, yeah. I mean, no. It's good to see Admex at the top, but definitely drop her a message. Oh, what's Ash saying? Ash says, "Said when the litany of the Electromancer was misplayed.
Oh yeah, I heard about this.
Being played as roller dice for every unit within an inch. It's every enemy model with 1 or more AdMech unit. Oh wow. Okay, that's a really big misplay.
Yeah, I think what it was.
She's trying to say.
She had loads of servitors, and she was rolling loads of, and she was playing the Wave Serpent guy that beat me in my first game. And she was just standing loads of units around all these Wave Serpents. And
rolling for each one of her units, not each one
of her units. Out all D3 mortal wounds, I think.
That's That's I want to say that's quite big, but that's really big.
Yeah, I know
6
the
for
wave
mortal
surfing guy
wounds. That's
was.
huge.
You could see he was sulking a bit after the
Oh
game.
wow. Okay, yeah, that's huge. So definitely drop her a message, Dan, about the robots.
Yes, I will do. I will. Yeah,
But
definitely.
yeah,
I'd never heard that before, and I was like, "Wow, if that's true, that's insane."
yeah.
And she was pretty convinced, like 100% convinced that that was the case. So,
Okay. And
yeah.
tell us what came second.
So what came second? I can't remember the gentleman's name. I think it began with a K, but it was Calidus Graph Tanks. Basically,
Yeah, we've talked about these time
yeah,
and time again. The cal
yeah. I mean,
tanks guys are just
the
insane,
one
aren't they?
difference that kind of made it semi-bearable was it was Calidus Grav tanks with loads of custody bikes. So it was full custodes. Kane. I said it began with a K. See? Yes, nice one, Ash. Um, yeah, it was Grav tanks, but he did take loads of custody bikes with it as well.
Yeah.
So that kind of made, full custodies made it semi-bearable. There was something actually that was kind of popping up. The Calidus Grav tanks were everywhere at this tournament, by the way. But the other grav tank guys were taking a dreadnought as well, and Ash was telling me about this dreadnought. And
Yeah.
apparently, it's like it's got it's like an imperial knight. It's similar points to a gallant, but it's got like an imperial. It's got like a Gatling cannon on it, so it's got 8 shots instead of 12.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 42-inch or 48-inch range. But it's like strength 8 minus 2 damage. So that's just chucking loads of shots everywhere, and apparently it synergizes with, because it's a dreadnought. It starts synergizing with all these other stratagems that they've got.
Oh wow.
So apparently this dreadnought was, and it's toughness 8 with 22 wounds. It advances 2d6, and it's all this all the Forge World rubbish.
Awful.
Strength 9,
Yeah,
AP
we
4,
need to start looking
3.
into some. We need to start looking into some Forge World. We're
Oh
behind
mate,
the curve on
yeah.
that one, I think.
Yeah, there was another list that was going around. Ash played it in his 4th game. That was doing really well, and it was just I'd never even heard of these models. They were just big, just a list of big Forge World stuff, just like 4 massive monsters that was just walking around the table, upsetting people basically. Oh, here we go. Ash is on it. Ash. They're strength 9, AP minus 4, flat 3 damage.
Okay, I know the one he's talking about. Is that the one with the conversion beamer thing? It looks like a massive conversion beamer type thing.
It was like a robot sitting there with 2 massive arms.
Yeah, I think Chris Gent was using one.
Okay, yeah, Telemon.
At St George's. Oh, a Telemon. I think you're confusing the Telemon with the Corn Hightown Ravagers. Oh, yeah. Oh, the Telemon, the big one.
I don't know a massive amount about Forge World. It's never something that's interested me. So.
Okay, yeah. Well, I think it needs to start interesting us, doesn't it? We need to. If people are out there with Forge World, we need to start taking advantage of it.
It is definitely something I need to look into, and maybe I can look into it for Necrons and Space Marines. Maybe that's where I need to start looking.
Oh yeah, because Jason, who's watching, Jason uses that big spider crawler, doesn't he, for the Necrons?
Yeah,
that massive one.
yeah.
Apparently, that's really good.
Apparently, there's a list going around. I've seen that a couple of tournaments, and someone's got 3 of those massive spider things.
Wow!
And apparently, it comes up against like knights and stuff. It just rinses them like 1 or 2 turns, just deletes an entire army, which can be quite funny.
Oh wow! Insane.
If only I had £1 billion to buy 3 of them.
Yeah, that's it. Well, we can make them, can't we? It's basically just
make one out of spruce.
Isn't it basically just a big football with 8 legs?
Yeah, I could do that.
If we get a football and we just put 8 legs on it, surely, guys, surely. So in 3rd place, we've got a Glasshammer Elite member. Awesome.
Yeah.
Crumble Bubble, yeah.
Crumble, yeah.
Wow.
He played really well on the weekend. He was, and I was in the last game. I was playing the table kind of behind him. So, and I saw he was really nervous about his game because again, it was Calidus Grav tanks that he was playing against, but he was also playing against this stupid dreadnought as well. and he was really nervous about that game. But he seized, and he said, he was like, unless I seize, it's not even a game. And he did seize, and he was really happy about it. He let everyone in the hall know that he'd seized. Yeah, it was his list. Stuff that he's been running for a while. The War Walkers with missile launchers, and the Talos, and the Harlequin bikes with the mortal wounds, the haywire stuff.
Yeah, the haywire.
So he's been running that for a while, and he said now he's kind of giving up on it because now that he's lost Doom on all his Talos and his jet bikes, they don't really do that. So I mean, but considering he's not got that buff, and still coming third at these tournaments, he's doing really well.
Yeah.
It was Calidus stuff. So I'm glad he seized. I'm glad he beat it because I'm sick of these bloody Calidus tanks. They've only been out like 3 weeks.
No, well, he's done what you would call a comeback king, essentially, hasn't he? The only game Mark lost on the weekend was his first game.
Yeah, he lost
about 3 straight wins to come straight in.
Yeah,
What I'm seeing here, Dan, what I'm seeing here is something that I've heard quite disappointing from pretty much everybody who's gone to the event that I've heard to. I only see, as you can see on here, guys, I only see 4 scores per player. So what's that?
Yeah.
If you can enlighten.
Yeah, so basically what happened is it was a 5-game tournament. So, you go there, you pay your money, you expect 5 games. But then they called the final game off because Liverpool won the I don't know, whatever football rubbish it was the night before, and they were doing some big tour around the city. And they were saying, look, you can play the 5 games, but you probably won't get out the city centre till like 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
10 o'clock. So they were like, let's have a vote of, who wants to stay and who wants to just call it 4 games and go. And then like half the room stuck their hand up.
Oh.
So then I was like, so I actually said, I was like, well, at this point, it doesn't matter if you voted to carry on. Can't have a tournament with like 8 people there. So, what difference does it make? And it sucked. I mean, I felt a bit for the tournament organisers, because I get that they wanted people to be able to get home and stuff like that. But at the same time, the only thing I wish that would have happened, if it had to happen at all, is that maybe because they live in Liverpool and that kind of thing, they could have seen this the night before, and they could have said to everyone, look, it's only going to be 4 games tomorrow, so just bear that in mind for if you want to come back.
Yeah, but the thing is as well, that Champions League has been known for weeks, hasn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
They could have quite easily made it a 1-dayer.
Yeah, make it a 1-day, or move the times forward, because I think the games would finish at like 3 o'clock anyway. So if you move it forward like they did in the first day to 9 o'clock, then everything's finished by 2 o'clock. So maybe you can get out earlier, or just say to people, it's going to be 3 games. Do you still want to play in the tournament, like before the tournament, or if you only find out on the Saturday, let people know on the Saturday, because I wouldn't have bothered staying over the night and getting up early in the morning and everything to get back there on game of 40k.
That's what I mean.
So I would have just
hotels and all sorts.
That's it. I mean, we got really lucky because Ash is an absolute hero, and we love Ash. Ash let me crash at his house.
Ash is, guys, the model Glasshammer elite member.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's the best elite member. All you others need to up your game.
Yeah, you do. You need to up your game. He comes on battle reports with us. He's all out there, wears his Glasshammer shirt everywhere. We love you. We love you, Ash. We love you. We love you all too. We love the rest of you. Just this much less than Ash.
I mean, everyone's got their favourite child, haven't they? So every parent's got their favourite child. They just normally keep it a secret, but we're not.
Our child is getting rowdy here. What's he saying? It kind of sucked to play game 4, get back in, and then not have a chance to have the chance to challenge. He won game 4, and then that's the thing, man. People they've battled back up after game 4, and
so after game 4, Ash was 3-1. After game 4, Ash was 3-1,
Wow,
and
that's
so he
insane.
could have
Because so
definitely gone
was
on.
so was Crumble Bumble, who came third, and I think
Yeah,
the person in second as well, Kane, was 3-1 as well. So it's just
yeah.
it doesn't give an accurate representation of what should have happened. Like,
No, no,
they
no,
all
not
won
at all.
the game.
No, not at all.
Yeah, that
So
definitely sucks a bit. Which that sucks because Crit Hit is normally quite decent. The event
yeah,
is quite
yeah, yeah.
decent. They are nice guys, tournament organisers and stuff. But this is that's just really bad. I think
Yeah,
that's
it's
poor.
pretty big.
That's pretty
Considering,
poor.
considering, it wasn't like the power went out, or it wasn't like it was something that they could have done nothing about.
Yeah.
Um, they live in the city. They probably know exactly what happens. I mean, I don't know anything about football. I don't even know the first thing about it. So for me, riding around on a bus in the middle of the city centre with a trophy seems pretty stupid, but it seems like it's the done thing. So yeah,
Yeah.
maybe a bit of foresight there. But
Yeah, I just
also as
think it's
well, I
just
think
poor.
one thing I was also a little bit disappointed with, and it's a lot of tournaments are like this at the moment. We're very fortunate in that with our terrain, everyone seems to love it, and it seems to make really interesting games. And a lot of people are kind of catching up to that. Tournament organisers, and they're
Yes.
investing in their terrain and all that kind of thing. But everything was the terrain was a bit higgledy piggledy on the weekend. I was it was in my fourth game I couldn't even hide a unit of destroyers. There was nothing on my board
Oh,
at all. And then in another one of my games it was just blocks,
ugh,
like square blocks.
okay.
So there wasn't even a base, not a single base on the
Okay.
table. And then there was like the top table on the second day, the one that Beth and Kane were playing on, was proper weird. It was like crystals that were like half the size of me. They were
Oh
massive. They were
wow.
like as long as my leg, right? They were huge. These huge, big, thick crystals that were just coming up all over the board. And again, no bases or. How are you supposed to play a game of 40k on that? You can't even look across the table or move stuff around, and it just didn't look right.
Yeah.
So
It's the
I
thing,
just
isn't
think
it?
I
Like
think they
at the
really need to
moment,
kind of look into their terrain because it didn't feel right compared to the standard that other tournament organisers are putting down on the board.
yeah, at the
They just
moment
need
with
to
the
catch
way
up
that the
that little bit.
game
That's all.
is, at the moment with the way that the game is, you need lost block.
Yeah, you do because otherwise
Lost blocking, yeah. Without lost
Tau,
blocking, it's no game.
you got the likes of Tau, Admech, and Imperial Knights. They're just gonna or Kalad's Grav tanks.
Yeah.
They're just gonna stand there and shoot stuff off the board,
And there's nothing
and
you
that's
can do. If there's nowhere to hide, there's nothing you
oh
can do. It's
no.
just I roll more dice than you in the shooting phase, so I win the game.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
literally it.
when you can't hide a unit of destroyers, what am I supposed to do? I brought my destroyers down, I shot something, then they died. Then the destroyers came down, I shot something, then it died. There's nothing you can do apart from try and trap it in combat, which is what I tried to do, but it didn't work.
Yeah.
I
There
could
we
only I
go.
could only do it for like one.
Ash has said,
Uh,
personally, I kind of think they should have offered a partial refund or credit towards the next event as a goodwill gesture. Uh,
yeah, maybe
says,
that.
did they provide any kind of refund compensation for people? And then Ash says, 10 quid a game with no lunch is a bit steep when compared with the rest of the industry, so to speak.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, because it's £40 event, wasn't it? And if you've only played 4 games, that does seem a bit dear if you
yeah.
only
But
played 4 games.
for £40, that is it was a bit of an insult, I have to admit, as he said. So it's one of them, we spend an absolute fortune on getting a really nice venue and investing in terrain
Mats on
and
every
getting the
board.
stream equipment, the mats, the chess clocks, all that kind of thing. So it was a bit of an insult, but it's these things happen, and it's how they come back from it that's the important thing.
Yeah, that's
So
it. That's it. It's how they come
hopefully
back from it.
someone kind of gets the message to them because there were a lot of people um, complaining.
Yeah. Hopefully the
Uh,
next one's better. I agree with the goodwill gesture though. What they should have done maybe is they should have said, okay, everybody that's voted that they want to go now, that's fine. But then the people that wanted to stay and play the final game, they should have maybe got £10 towards the next ticket. just something, anything.
I don't think you divide it up like that. I don't think you can afford to divide it up like that, because then people would feel bad for sticking their hand up and saying that they were going home. So I think
just everyone.
Say to everyone, yeah,
You get
that's
£10 off your next ticket.
I understand that he's got costs to cover because he's put staff on and whatever for the weekend. Even though he's made an absolute fortune with the food and the beer anyway. Yeah, definitely. Just and like I said, it makes more business sense to go have this much off your next ticket.
Yes.
Because it gets people back then into the next event, and then they can show people that they've improved and done all these kinds of different things. That is probably the most business savvy idea, I think.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, okay, so that's it. So it seems like it was a decent event, but just terrain needs to be a bit better, and the event needs to be finished in future, I guess. You learn a lot about crons because you were benching the repulsors to play the crons, weren't you?
Yeah, what it was.
The repulsors were going to be great.
So basically, I kind of knew going into it that their terrain wasn't amazing. I thought it would be better than it was. So I knew their terrain wasn't amazing. So I was kind of concerned, and I knew that Beth was taking her ad mech. I knew that there was at least 3 Tyrannus Knight builds going. And with those melter cannons, that really hurts me and stuff. So I was concerned that with that, maybe the Crons was the better choice. Because I thought that the Crons would be a better matchup for those kinds of gun lines than the Repulsors. But because maybe I do boss my 3-ups, then I win the game. If I move forward and boss my 3-up invuns for 1 turn, I win the game.
Yeah,
that's the kind of situation with those gun lines. But maybe not. And to be honest, I quite like the idea of it, because I thought I'll take it, and maybe it won't be that good, but maybe I could see a way of, if I put this in, then it starts to become really good and really like it. But it was one of them. It was something I had to go and try. It's not something that's not the kind of list that you can figure out just by practicing it.
Yeah, definitely.
I wanted to put it in a tournament setting, see if it had legs. That was what it was.
Here we go. Ash Redden. Oh, another one, Dan. Another one. Ash says, this is why we need more Glasshammer gaming events to set the standard for the industry.
Yes, Ash.
Everybody has been asking a lot over the last couple of days, last couple of weeks, so to speak, actually, about when the next Glasshammer gaming event is going to be. Currently, guys, we are just we have big plans for the following year, don't we? We have a lot of tournaments, the monthly tournaments. We're trying our best to make sure that they go ahead. We are literally just waiting on a venue, aren't we? As soon as we get the right venue that offers the right package, there will be monthly tournaments available, guys.
Yeah. All it is, we love the university. It's great. We're in talks with them, but they're talking about supplying different kinds of food and that kind of thing. And we just don't think that kind of. We want to make sure that it's a good event and people have access to nice food and nice beer and they enjoy themselves. What's important is that people enjoy themselves. So I don't want people. I don't want to skimp out anywhere and disappoint people. So it's got to be right, and that's what's taking a bit of time to get it right.
There's talks about just serving soft drinks and stuff, isn't there? Whereas we want to make sure everybody gets beer, everybody gets the drinks they want to get.
There's a laugh. They have a nice meal, and they're going to enjoy themselves. That's important. So it's taking a bit of time, just fleshing out different ideas and trying to make sure everyone's happy.
That's it, guys. But that's it. As soon as we know, you will know.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I say at this point.
We're really keen to get everything up because, like I said, we've got all these cool ideas, and we just want to let everyone know because we know everyone's going to be excited. But we've got to confirm everything first. Unfortunately.
So Dan, a quick one here. Shall we? Because these are our elite members. These are our loyalists. Should we let them know about the new service? Getting included in their price.
Definitely. Yeah. So the elite service is changing slightly in what it offers, but if anything, all it's going to do is give you guys more value for what it does. So so our streams and stuff like that, we love going to events and we love streaming them. But it's really, really expensive to do it.
Yeah.
And when I'm saying events, I'm not talking like our events, because we'll always do that anyway, because we're there. I'm talking like
The biggest
LGT,
events in the UK and world.
LGT. We're talking ETC, all these big, massive
All the
events.
Cali events.
All the Cali events, all that. Everyone wants to see these events, and we've come to agreements with all the tournament organisers to do it. But what we can't do is pay for it ourselves.
Yes.
So what we're going to do, we're going to turn all the Glasshammer streaming into like essentially pay-per-view, and that pay-per-view comes through the Elite service. So if you are an Elite member, you get to watch all of our streams, and that will include games that we stream midweek if we're trying something out. It includes all the Glasshammer tournaments, but it also includes all these tournaments that we've got agreements with. Like I said, it's all the Cali events, it's LGT, it's ETC, Northern Warlord events as well. They're on board with it. So, we've got all these really wicked tournaments lined up that we're going to stream for you guys.
That's it, for example, guys. I mean, if you want to watch them, have a look at the dates. So there's the Northern Warlords event, which I believe is the 24th of this month.
Yeah.
That will be at that stream and that. Then you'll have Cali Revolution of next month. I believe that's on the weekend of the 20th and the 21st. And then we'll be streaming the ETC. And guys, the ETC is going to be a big one. We'll be streaming all 5 games of the singles and all 6 games of the teams. You'll have 11 games that month. And that's if a Glasshammer tournament isn't also on in August. Otherwise, you'll have 16 games that month. Yeah. And then the month after is the London Grand Tournament. Then the month after that will be the Glasshammer Open. So for the next 5 months, we are going to the biggest events in the UK and Europe and streaming them for you.
Yeah.
And, there is a service now. It's a new subscription as part of the Elite, which is £2.99 if people want to watch these stream games. So that's what we value the stream as, is £2.99 for this sort of pay-per-view service. But you are getting that added into your package because obviously you guys are our strongest supporters, and that's what we love about you guys.
Yeah, but that is all they get for $2.99. They just get the stream games. That's literally it. So all the stream games will be going into the Glasshammer Elite Facebook page from now on. It won't be on YouTube or Twitch or nothing like that. They will just be in the Glasshammer Elite page.
Yeah. Thank you very much for listening, guys. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Had an in-depth talk about Necrons. Got an exclusive for the forthcoming tournaments. And we will catch you on Friday. Well, I say we, probably me, and I'll have someone a lot more interesting on than Dan.
Oh yeah, I'm in the pub. I won't be on Open the Vaults.
So guys, I'll see you all Friday evening. Take care. Thanks for watching.
See you later, guys. Bye.